Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, my good friend Jacob Hornberger from the Future Freedom Foundation, where we're discussing the future. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, the biggest thing is that people that know what's going on, oftentimes we just want to survive. You know, I just, you know, in the end, freedom always wins, but it gets really, really messy first, and we have yet to get. People think that, we're bottomed out. It's all up from here. I'm going, no. Just today, there's no more extensions of unemployment insurance. Today, just in Arizona, 158,000 people are no longer getting unemployment insurance. They just, you know, they're off. Well, it's going to keep every week. There's going to be more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and it's going to get bad. And then we have all the municipal employees, the police officers, the teachers, the judges. I mean, all the government, their pension funds. You might not get retirement either. I mean, you know, this is going to get bad. It's not like it's going to happen. It's already happened. So we need someone like Bumper Hornberger from the Future Freedom Foundation to be able to share with us from someone that's paying attention, someone that's been predicting this for a long time, the future of freedom. You know, and when did the Future of Freedom Foundation start? It was in the early 90s, wasn't it?
1989.
In 1989, you came out and said, we need to have a Future of Freedom Foundation guy. So go ahead and please share with the audience what you think they need to prepare for and how bad it might get.
Yeah, I mean, libertarians are not prophets or Nostradamus or anything. All we're looking at is cause and effect. And, to digress a moment, before 9/11, for example, we have several articles on our website saying that there's going to be a terrorist attack on American soil. Now, we weren't predicting this as like, oh, wow, we're looking into the future. What we were saying is that U.S. foreign policy, i.e. the U.S. government, is doing some very bad things to people in the Middle East. And unless you stop doing this, you're going to have retaliation, and that retaliation is going to likely take place on American shores. And, of course, that happened. We weren't the only ones that were saying that. Chalmers Johnson, he was saying it, and that was the subject of his book Blowback that was published before 9/11. That's exactly what we're doing with respect to the economic conditions that you were talking about that are we're getting into a real bad situation here. I mean, we've seen what happened with Greece. The government's gone bankrupt. Why? Because of its enormous welfare state spending. Libertarians have been saying this for decades, that this system, this welfare state system, cannot last because the spending inevitably starts exceeding the amount of tax revenues, and that leads to debt, which ordinarily leads to inflation, but they couldn't inflate because they're controlled by the Eurozone. Well, now we see the same situation with Ireland, with Spain, Portugal. Well, that's no different from what's happening here, Ernie. As you know, we've got a $14 trillion debt. I think everybody's share is about $43,000 right now, including children. They're spending $1.3 trillion plus, more than what they're bringing in taxes. They're already talking about inflating that debt out of existence, which means debasement of the currency. We already see the dollar crashing. We see the speculators and investors and the smart money moving into commodities. That's a sign of what's on the horizon, rising prices across the board. We're looking at a real bad situation, and we libertarians keep saying, you got to get off this road. I mean, in 1989, we were saying, you got to get off this road. You got to get off this road. It's going to end very badly. Now, we have a much worse situation than Greece and Ireland, because not only do we have a welfare state here with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, foreign aid, bank bailouts, and all this other nonsense, we have a warfare state where we're occupying two countries. We're stirring up trouble with other countries, Iran, Korea. We've got a military spending out of control. This cannot end well. And is there time to veer off course? I mean, you see the iceberg ahead. Is there time to veer off course? Well, one never knows. But when you see the iceberg ahead, you at least try to veer off course. They're not trying.
Yeah, you don't full speed ahead. And I'm saying, we've already hit the iceberg. This is not something that's going to happen. It already happened. It's baked into the cake. Well, I'll ask you a simple question. Can we stop, arrest, retract, fix the U.S. and local and state debts? I mean, can they ever pay it off? Can we make the dollar sound again? Is that mathematically possible?
I think it's a matter of you got an advanced case of cancer on the body politic. Maybe 15 years ago you could have done something gradual. I think really what's necessary now is radical surgery, and like emergency surgery. And of course, our position has been the same for 21 years. Don't reform Social Security. Don't reform Medicare and Medicaid and all these entitlements and welfare programs. Just abolish them. Just repeal them. Restore a free society. Restore a faith in a free society, in a free market society. Dismantle the warfare state. Close the 700 to 1,000 military bases overseas. Bring all the troops home. Discharge them. Start closing the bases here at home. Dismantle the military-industrial complex. Well, that's the solution. Are people prepared to go there yet? Nope, there's no doubt about it. That's just too radical for them. They love their welfare state. I'm talking about Americans. They love their welfare state. They love their warfare state, and they're hoping that the politicians and the bureaucrats are going to be able to give it to them for free, or they're going to be able to balance the budget, or they're going to get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse of government programs. It ain't going to happen. It's stage 4 cancer here.
Are the people really that removed from reality? I mean, I don't watch Fox News. I don't know if you do or not. I can't. I just can't take it, But are they just trying to convince them, no matter how low we go, that's the new bottom? No matter how much it's manufactured, the rhetoric of where the threat's coming from and so on, is it manufactured more than there's a reality, or do they manufacture it to create a reality? We had a gentleman on in the top of the first hour, William Beeman, and he wrote the book The Great Satan versus the Mad Mullahs, and it's just like this rhetoric that amplify politicians getting elected in Iran and the U.S. by saying how bad the other guy is. I mean, is it really that simple? It's just to get this fear herd mentality to get support, or is there something else? And it keeps, every time I ask questions or I go to it, I don't know how much you want to dwell on this. It's like it always goes back to the third rail, Israel. I mean, do they really control our foreign policy that much?
Well, to answer your first question, I really think it's a self-induced delusion among the American people. I mean, it starts in the first grade where it's imposed that you're going into these government schools or government-approved private schools, and you're getting an official indoctrination. And that indoctrination is, you were born in a free country. You have a free enterprise system. You pledge allegiance to the flag that represents liberty. The troops are overseas defending our freedom. That's where it starts. And so by the time people finish up into adulthood, there's no doubt in their mind that they live in a free market society.
Because we've been told Fox News said. Fox News said. We're going to see what Bumper Hornberger has to say from Future Freedom Foundation. More about it when we come back here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, in just a little bit.